Hello, my name is Jared Bailey, and this is my presentation of Rocksteady Trucking's startup plan. Just to give you a quick, brief background of Rocksteady Trucking, to give you a little bit of history of who we are. So, Rocksteady Trucking is a small family-owned trucking company specializing in dump truck and hauling. Um, we're based out of Denver, North Carolina, where myself, Jared Bailey, was born and raised. A little small country town outside of Charlotte, sometimes mistaken for Denver, Colorado, but that's definitely on the other side of the country. And we actually get teased about it because our local high school dons the logo of the Denver Broncos as well. So you can see the comparisons and how people can speculate on who we're trying to imitate. But either way, that is a little quick snippet about my little hometown. Rocksteady Trucking itself, like I said, is a family-owned business, and it's something that I look to. It's a hypothetical business, excuse me. It's a hypothetical business that I inspire to start one day, um, and I hope to keep as a family legacy. And this actually has gone through a different names over the past couple months. I've explored using R&B trucking and hauling, um, other names such as major weight trucking or in different routes. So we hadn't solidified a definite name yet, but it is definitely in the works. And I think Rocksteady is a solid name, something that can be marketed in different facets, and it doesn't give you that mom and pops feel. It could we could possibly expand to something bigger, and which I hope to be. I hope to be one of the larger trucking companies along the East Coast, Southeast region, where we would service or we would work in along the East Coast, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, some in Tennessee, maybe even Florida. Um, but like I said, we're again, it's a hypothetical company for right now, but I hope to expand later on. So hopping into my presentation, I'll first discuss my organizational chart. And as you can see, I have a few positions laid out. Have your CEO, owner CEO, which would be myself, the COO, which would be my lovely wife, Caitlin Bailey. She's actually participating in this master's program is alongside with me, um, and we are trying to figure out our entrepreneurial position or entrepreneurial drive and see exactly what we want to dive into, possibly working together, working separate on our own projects. But this is some things we would like to try to explore. So again, she be donning the COO position. Um, then along in this region here is my management team portion. I have a HR manager, a driver coordinator, two driver coordinators, excuse me, and a maintenance manager. And what and I'll break down each level a little bit later on throughout the presentation. But then as we get into the blue region, which is the associate level, we have as a other positions. We have two HR clerks, a compliance clerk, and I apologize that it's hard to see with the white writing. I meant to change that before I put it up here. But also we have a payroll clerk, and then we would consist of 12 dump truck drivers. That's how many we would employ starting out. Um, and then we also have two mechanics for maintenance and things of that nature, and also a groundskeeper slash janitor role for our facilities. So again, that's a breakdown of our org chart, and I've also listed the salaries underneath that, but we'll get into that as we go down the presentation. To give an equity background, I have a split of each each role or each executive or level would be given. So with 5 million paid in capital, with 10 million available shares, 5 million issued at the price of $1. The CEO, the owners, myself would be 31%. COO would be granted 19%. The management level would take on 15% amongst the four. The associate level would be compensated with 12%. And also local investors, and this would consist of local mentors, local businessmen, or anyone that stepped into my life and invested in myself, would be considered an investor, helping me get off the ground, whether it's helping me purchase my first truck, giving me a location to set up a shop. I've already spoken to a few community leaders about my aspirations and my hopes of bringing jobs to my small town, in such an industry like this of having skilled drivers. There's plenty of people that have their CDL license in this area, but just hate having to travel so far for work, and I will be able to bring that home here. So my community is definitely behind me and supporting me. So I'm definitely grateful for that, and I will have to include them as investors into this endeavor. So um, their breakdown of their equity would be 23% as well. So to get into the rationale of it, as you can see here, um, myself, I'm responsible for creating and making the company the powerhouse that I hope it to be. Caitlin, as the COO, will be the facilitator of all internal operations. She will basically make sure that we are running efficiently and effectively. That's a gift that I believe my wife has, is a great administrator and leader. Has great leadership skills, and I think she would play great in that role and making sure that we're on point in our operations. Our board of directors, of course, like I said, our investors are people that support our vision, whether it be financial, moral support, things of that nature. That's what they would consist of, our local community. Of course, our management team will be HR manager, driver coordinators, and maintenance manager. Basically, those four will be that even leadership role, and I basically would depend on them for the day-to-day operations. Make sure everything is working correctly. They would be my eyes and my ears for my organization, and make sure that we're performing daily. And then, of course, you can't have a successful company without having great associates, or at the lower level, and these will consist of the drivers mainly, the mechanics that help work on the machines, the groundkeeper, um, and also our HR department, whether it be the payroll clerk or the HR clerks, to help file paperwork for jobs and things of that nature, and make sure that we're compliant in that. And as you can see, my pie chart broken down, and they have it as it's displayed here, by each level given. We'll scroll down, and just again to break down the upper management. Um, as you can see, my responsibility for growing our company is, that would be my main goal, is to make sure that we don't just stay locally here. We're able to expand. One company in particular that I've done a little bit of digging into, and seen it out here, out and about, or more or less all around, is a company called Blue Max. They actually were an older dump truck company. When Charlotte first started developing, was one of the major dump truck companies here, and they actually have a slogan, helping build the Carolinas one load at a time, which is something that has carried them on throughout these years. So that's a company I try to model myself after. I haven't had a chance to sit down with any of the management teams or anything like that, but I have reached out to them, and hopefully I'll get to touch base with them and figure out how to better expand, once I get established, how to expand and grow to the stature that they have. Um, but like I said, this is just a quick breakdown of each level. I have my upper management again, CEO, COO, HR manager, driver coordinators, and maintenance managers. And then you get to the associate level, HR clerk, compliance clerk, payroll clerk, also your drivers, your mechanics, and groundskeeper. So here is our personnel um, plan table, and it gives you a breakdown of each year, our initial year, what our base salaries would be, and I try to give a realistic goal of how I want us to grow financially in each year. So if we come on down, so you can see the growth of from here over to the right, and and again, this is just hypothetically. I just again hope that we have financial success. I know that these numbers are not gonna be right off gate or anything like that. But again, this is something that we hope to get to and hope to expand to. So far as our recruiting plan, um, I I would like to tap into all of our social media aspects, all our social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, um, and also websites such as Indeed and other recruiting sites for job postings. And another thing, I'll also in case of in the aspect of recruiting drivers as they come along, I would team up with a local CDL driving school, truck driving schools, and I would love to be that company that gives truck drivers their first experience, because a lot of a lot of trucking companies will not allow you to, or they won't hire you based off of your inexperience, and just to give those people the opportunity for the first time is something that I aspire to do. Um, I always was one of those people that hated that, to have that limitation put on you for not having experience and not, someone taking a risk on you. That's something that's always inspired me to do, to get into business, and I have my own business. So I wanted to open doors for people instead of shutting them in front of them and shutting the door in front of them, and giving those new drivers that have, in it, they don't have the experience or don't have the proper training just yet. I like to take those people underneath my wing and guide them so they get the opportunity to grow. I know I may lose drivers out there you put invest in time, but that's the reason I'm doing it. It's not to hold anybody back or keep anybody locked down. It's more or less to help develop and grow a person so that they can excel in life each and every day. So um, and here's a quick view of the job descriptions that I have that I will post on these websites. Of course, I wouldn't be posting for anyone to be taken over as the CEO. It's something that I've expressed myself in my blog posts and things of that nature. I I look at my company as, my child, my baby, and I can't see myself giving someone else the opportunity to shape and mold it differently than what I would have envisioned. I definitely want to keep it underneath, my control and my guidance. So